Emma Torres thought falling asleep on a stranger's shoulder during a flight was her most embarrassing moment, until she discovered that stranger was Dante Moretti, one of the most dangerous men in New York. When she woke up, her daughter's $47,000 medical debt had vanished overnight, paid in full by a man she'd known for exactly 2 hours. But Dante's protection came with a price she never saw coming. Her violent ex-boyfriend would return with a vendetta, her daughter would be ripped from her arms, and Emma would have to choose between the safety she'd always craved and a love so dangerous it could destroy them both. What started as an accidental encounter on Flight 247 became a war between two worlds, and Emma was caught in the crossfire. Subscribe and comment below if you've ever trusted the wrong person at exactly the right time, because this story is about to prove that sometimes the most dangerous man in the room is the only one who can save you. Emma Torres felt her body sinking into the narrow airplane seat. The fabric scratched against her neck. Her eyes burned from 2 double shifts back to back. She had $47 left in her checking account. Lily's medication cost $230. The flight attendant announced boarding for rows 20 through 30. Emma gripped her worn purse and stood. Her knees ached. 29 felt like 50 some days. "Ma'am, you're in 24B, the attendant said. Emma nodded and shuffled down the aisle. Business travelers tapped on laptops. A woman in first class sipped champagne. Emma's stomach tightened. She hadn't eaten since yesterday morning. She found her row. A man already occupied the window seat. Emma saw only his profile at first. Dark hair, strong jaw, expensive suit that probably cost more than her rent. His eyes stayed fixed on his phone. His fingers moved across the screen with precise control. "Excuse me," Emma said. He looked up. His eyes were almost black. They locked onto hers with an intensity that made her breath catch. Something shifted in his expression, just for a moment. Then his face went smooth again. "Middle seat," he said. His voice was low and rough. Emma squeezed past him. Their shoulders brushed. She felt heat through her thin cardigan, despite the plane's cold air. No, she wouldn't think about that. Wouldn't notice the clean scent of his cologne or the way his presence filled the entire row. She buckled her seatbelt with shaking fingers. The exhaustion pressed down harder now. Her head felt heavy. Her eyes wanted to close. The plane filled around them. A businessman claimed the aisle seat. He immediately opened his briefcase and ignored them both. The engines rumbled to life. Emma felt the vibration through her bones. "You all right?" the man beside her asked. Emma turned. His dark eyes studied her face. She saw something there she couldn't name. Concern, maybe, or calculation. "Fine," Emma said. "Just tired." "Long day?" "Long year." His mouth almost smiled. "Almost. I understand that." The plane began to taxi. Emma's head nodded forward. She jerked it back up. Her neck protested. The businessman beside her snored already. The cabin lights dimmed for takeoff. Emma felt her consciousness slipping. She fought it. Strangers didn't need her problems. She didn't need anyone's pity or questions. But her body had other plans. The plane lifted. Her head fell sideways. She landed on something solid and warm. The last thing she registered was the scent of expensive fabric and the feeling of safety she had no business trusting. Dante Moretti felt the woman's weight settle against his shoulder. Her breathing evened out immediately. She was already asleep. Completely defenseless. He should push her away, maintain boundaries, keep the cold distance that served him well. But his body wouldn't cooperate. His shoulder stayed still. His arm shifted slightly to support her better. Marco would laugh himself sick if he saw this. Dante looked down at her. Exhaustion marked every line of her face. Dark circles shadowed her eyes. Her clothes were clean but worn thin at the edges. Working class, struggling, probably had someone depending on her. Something tightened in his chest. He recognized that bone-deep tiredness, the weight of responsibility crushing down, the desperate scramble to hold everything together while the world kept taking pieces away. His phone buzzed. A text from Marco. "Landing confirmed. Car ready." Dante typed back one-handed. His other arm had gone numb, but he didn't move it. The woman made a small sound in her sleep, not quite peaceful, like even unconscious, she couldn't fully rest. He knew that feeling too. The flight stretched on. Other passengers shifted and complained. The woman on his shoulder stayed deeply asleep. Dante worked through emails, made decisions that would affect territories across 3 states, approved 2 deals and cancelled 1. All while a stranger drooled slightly on his $1,500 suit. He didn't mind. That scared him more than he'd admit. An hour passed, then another. New York's lights appeared below. The pilot announced their descent. Still, Dante didn't wake her. She needed every minute of rest. The plane touched down, bounced slightly. The woman stirred but didn't wake. Around them, passengers scrambled for bags and phones. The businessman beside them grunted and shoved toward the aisle. Only when the plane stopped completely did Dante speak. His voice came out softer than he intended. "We've landed." The woman's eyes flew open. She jerked upright. Her face flooded with color. "Oh, God," she said. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to—" "It's fine. Your shirt, is that drool? I'm so sorry." Dante looked down. A small wet spot marked his shoulder. He'd ordered hits for less, but her mortification was almost charming. "I've had worse," he said. She laughed. The sound was tired but genuine. "That's very kind, and probably a lie." "Maybe." People filed past them. Emma grabbed her small backpack from under the seat. Her movements were quick and nervous. She wanted to escape. Dante found himself not wanting her to. "Let me buy you coffee," he said, to apologize for being an uncomfortable pillow. Emma hesitated. Her eyes found his. He saw the walls go up, the instinctive retreat. "That's nice, but I can't," she said. "I have someone waiting." Dante felt disappointment, sharp and unexpected. He pushed it down. "Of course." They stood. The aisle cleared slowly. Emma kept her distance now. No accidental touches, no meeting his eyes. She'd woken up and remembered that strangers were dangerous. Smart woman. They walked through the terminal in silence. Dante's security detail fell in around him at a distance. Emma didn't notice. She checked her phone constantly. Her whole body radiated tension now. At baggage claim, Dante saw her shoulders drop in relief. A small girl with dark hair waited beside an older woman. The child held a hand-drawn sign, "Mommy." Something cracked in Dante's chest. The girl looked 7, maybe. Thin, pale, sick. Emma rushed forward. She dropped to her knees and pulled the girl into her arms. The child clung to her neck. They stayed like that. A small island of love in the crowded terminal. "Thanks for watching her, Mrs. Chen," Emma said to the older woman. "Of course, sweetie. How was Miami?" "Good. The funeral was— It was good." Funeral. That explained the exhaustion, the grief written in her bones. Dante told himself to walk away. His car waited outside. Marco would be annoyed at the delay. He had a meeting in an hour that couldn't be rescheduled. He didn't move. Emma noticed him watching. Her expression shuttered. She stood and took her daughter's hand, protective, wary. "Thank you again," Emma said, "for the shoulder, and for being kind about it." "Not a problem." She started to turn away, then froze. Her whole body went rigid. Dante followed her gaze. A man pushed through the crowd toward them, tall, athletic, angry. His eyes locked on Emma with possessive rage. "Emma," the man said, "we need to talk." Emma felt fear spike through her exhaustion. "James, here, now." She stepped in front of Lily automatically. "I told you to leave us alone," Emma said. Her voice was steady, despite her shaking hands. 3 weeks, James said. 3 weeks you've been dodging my calls. Because we're done. I ended it. You need to accept that. James moved closer. Too close. Emma smelled alcohol on his breath. His face was red. People around them started to notice, started to back away. "You don't get to decide when we're done," James said. "You don't get to take my girl. She's not your girl. She's my daughter. You have no rights here." James grabbed Emma's arm. His fingers dug in hard enough to bruise. Lily made a scared sound behind her. Emma's breath caught. Then a hand closed around James's wrist. Large, strong, unmovable. "Let her go," said a voice like gravel and ice. Emma looked up. The man from the plane stood there, but he didn't look kind anymore. He looked lethal. His dark eyes were flat and cold. His grip on James's wrist tightened visibly. James yanked back, or tried to. The stranger's hand didn't budge. Around them, the terminal seemed to hold its breath. Several men in dark suits had appeared. They formed a loose circle, professional, silent, dangerous. "Who the hell are you?" James demanded. The stranger smiled. It held no warmth at all. "Someone you don't want to know. This is none of your business. I'm making it my business." His voice dropped lower. "You have 3 seconds to walk away. After that, you'll be carried away. Your choice." Something in his tone made James go pale. Emma saw the moment her ex recognized real danger. James released her arm. He stumbled back a step. "This isn't over," James said to Emma. "You can't hide from me." "One," the stranger said. James turned and pushed through the crowd. His shoulders hunched. his earlier confidence gone completely. Emma watched him disappear toward the exit. Her whole body trembled now. Lily pressed against her leg. The stranger turned to her. His expression softened slightly. The cold fury drained away into something almost gentle. "Are you hurt?" he asked. Emma shook her head. Words stuck in her throat. Her arm throbbed where James had grabbed her. "Do you need me to call the police?" "No. I have a restraining order. He doesn't care." The stranger's jaw tightened. "I see." They stood there. The terminal resumed its normal chaos around them. The men in dark suits stayed close, but not intrusive. Dante's breath caught. "My name is Dante," he said. "Dante Moretti." Emma felt something click in her mind. That name. She'd heard it somewhere. News, maybe, or whispered conversations between customers at the diner. "Emma Torres," she said quietly. "This is Lily." Dante looked down at the little girl. His expression did something complicated. Pain flashed across his face. Then control slammed back down. "Hello, Lily," he said. His voice was gentle. Lily didn't answer. She just stared at him with wide brown eyes. Emma put a protective hand on her daughter's shoulder. "Thank you for your help," Emma said. "But we should go. That man will come back. I'll handle it." "Will you?" Dante's eyes found hers. She saw real concern there. "He's escalating. You know that." Emma felt her throat tighten. Yes, she knew. James had gotten worse every week since she'd ended things. The calls, the messages, showing up at her work, at Lily's school. The restraining order was just paper. It didn't stop him. "I don't know what you want me to say," Emma said. Her voice cracked. "I'm doing the best I can." "I know you are." Something shifted in his eyes. Emma felt pinned by that dark gaze, seen in a way that made her chest ache. When was the last time someone had really looked at her, really seen how hard she was fighting? "Take my card," Dante said. He pulled out a business card and held it toward her. "If he bothers you again, if you need help, call that number." Emma didn't take the card. "I don't need charity." "It's not charity, it's common sense. He's dangerous." "So are you." The words came out before Emma could stop them. Dante went very still. His eyes searched her face. Then he smiled. A real smile this time. Sad and knowing. "Yes," he said. "I am. But not to you. You don't know me. I know enough." Emma felt tears threatening. She was too tired for this, too overwhelmed. Lily tugged on her hand. They needed to catch the bus, get home, lock the doors, pretend everything was fine. "Thank you," Emma said again. "Really, but I can take care of my daughter." She turned away before Dante could respond. Her vision blurred with tears she refused to shed. Lily held her hand tightly. They walked toward the exit, toward the cold night and the long bus ride, toward their small apartment and all the problems waiting there. Emma didn't look back, but she felt Dante's eyes on her until they disappeared through the automatic doors. Dante watched them go. Marco appeared at his elbow. "Boss," Marco said, "car's waiting. Get me everything on Emma Torres." "The woman from the plane?" "Yes. Employment history, address, the restraining order against James Crawford." "I want to know why he thinks he can intimidate her." Dante's voice went cold. "And I want to know where Crawford lives." Marco's eyebrows rose. "Boss, she's a civilian. Getting involved. I'm already involved. One conversation on a plane doesn't... She has a sick kid, an abusive ex, and she's carrying weight that would break most people." Dante turned to face Marco. "I want the information." Marco studied his face, then nodded slowly. "I'll have it by morning. I want it in 2 hours." They walked toward the exit. The terminal's noise faded behind them. Outside, a black town car waited. The driver opened the door. Dante slid inside. Marco took the front passenger seat. "You planning something stupid?" Marco asked. Dante looked out the window. Somewhere in this city, Emma Torres was riding a bus home, putting her daughter to bed, trying to sleep while wondering when James Crawford would show up again. His chest tightened. He recognized this feeling, this need to protect, to control the situation, to make sure nothing bad happened to someone who mattered. He'd felt it for Maria once, and for Sophia, his wife, his daughter, both gone now, both buried because he hadn't been there when it counted. "Not stupid," Dante said quietly. "Necessary. Boss, she needs help whether she admits it or not. That man won't stop, and next time I might not be there." "So you're going to do what? Become her bodyguard?" Dante's jaw clenched. "I'm going to make sure she's safe, however necessary." Marco was quiet for a long moment. Then he sighed. "You know this never ends well. Caring about civilians, it makes you weak. I know, but you're doing it anyway. Yes. The car pulled into traffic. New York's lights blurred past the windows. Dante's phone buzzed with incoming messages, territory disputes, financial reports, the usual controlled chaos of his life. But his mind stayed on a tired woman with a sick daughter, on brown eyes that held too much pain. On the way, she'd slept against his shoulder with complete trust. Trust she'd withdrawn the moment she woke up. Smart, self-protective, survival instinct. But survival wasn't enough. Dante knew that better than anyone. Sometimes you needed someone stronger to stand between you and the monsters. Emma Torres didn't think she needed anyone. She was wrong. And Dante Moretti always got his way eventually, even when people fought him on it, especially then. His phone buzzed again. A photo from Marco's contact, Emma's address. A rundown building in Queens, the kind of neighborhood where police didn't rush to answer calls, where a man like James Crawford could do whatever he wanted without consequences. Not anymore. Dante made a decision, one he knew he'd probably regret, but regret was an old friend. He'd learned to live with it. Change of plans, Dante said. I need to make a stop. Marco turned around. His expression was knowing, resigned. Where to, boss? Dante gave him the address. Marco's eyes widened slightly. That's her place. I know. She told you to leave her alone. She told me she didn't need help. Those are different things. Boss, showing up at her home tonight. I'm not going to scare her. I'm going to make sure Crawford isn't there, and I'm going to leave something for her. Leave what? Dante pulled out his phone, made 2 calls. The first to his lawyer, the second to his accountant. 5 minutes of conversation that would change Emma Torres's life whether she liked it or not. Boss? Marco prompted. You'll see. The car drove through the night. Dante watched the city pass. Somewhere in his chest, something that had been dead for 3 years stirred back to life. Hope. Dangerous thing, especially for a man like him. But Emma's face stayed in his mind. The way she'd protected her daughter. The exhaustion and determination mixed in equal measure. The refusal to break even when breaking would be easier. She was a fighter, a survivor, just like Maria had been, before the world took her anyway. Dante's hands curled into fists. No, this time would be different. This time he'd see the danger coming. This time he'd act before it was too late. Emma Torres had fallen asleep on the wrong man's shoulder, or maybe the right one. Either way, her life had just changed. She just didn't know it yet. The car turned onto her street. Dante leaned forward. His eyes scanned the building, the shadows, looking for threats, for James Crawford's car, for any sign of danger. Nothing, for now. Park here, Dante said, and wait. How long? As long as it takes. Marco sighed but did as ordered. The car stopped half a block from Emma's building, close enough to see, far enough to avoid scaring her. Dante settled in to watch, to wait, to begin the protection she didn't know she needed. His phone buzzed with the first file on Emma Torres. He opened it and started reading, learning everything about the woman who'd somehow managed to wake something in him he'd thought was dead forever. Outside, the night stretched on. Inside the car, Dante Moretti made plans. Careful plans. Protective plans. Plans that Emma Torres would fight him on every step of the way. He almost smiled at that thought. Almost. This was going to be complicated, messy, probably dangerous for both of them. He couldn't wait. Emma woke to Lily's coughing. The sound cut through the thin apartment walls. She sat up fast. Her body protested every movement. Yesterday's flight felt like a lifetime ago. She padded to Lily's room. Her daughter lay curled under worn blankets. The coughing subsided. Emma pressed her hand to Lily's forehead. Warm, but not burning. Thank God. Mama? Lily's voice was small. I'm here, baby. Go back to sleep. My chest hurts. Emma felt her stomach tighten. The medication should have helped by now, but they'd missed 2 doses while she was in Miami. Funeral expenses had eaten the last of her emergency fund. I know. I'll get your medicine after breakfast. Lily nodded and closed her eyes. Emma stayed until her breathing evened out. Then she walked back to the kitchen. Dawn light filtered through dirty windows. The refrigerator hummed its broken tune. Emma started coffee. She had 1 shift at the diner today. Then she'd pick up Lily from Mrs. Chen's, make dinner, help with homework, collapse into bed and do it all again tomorrow. Normal, manageable, fine. Her foot hit something by the door. She looked down. A cream envelope lay on the floor. Expensive paper. Her name written in strong, precise handwriting. Emma's breath caught. She picked it up with shaking fingers. No return address, just her name. She opened it carefully. A receipt fell out, from Mount Sinai Hospital. She scanned the page, then read it again. Her hands started to shake. Patient Lily Torres, balance due, A.00, paid in full, 47,238.14. A note card was paper-clipped to the receipt, the same handwriting, just 4 words. Not a choice. DM. Emma felt anger rise hot and fast. She grabbed her phone, found the business card Dante had tried to give her last night. She'd taken it, she just hadn't admitted it. The number rang twice. Emma. His voice was calm, like he'd been waiting. What did you do? Emma asked. Her voice was low and sharp. Good morning to you too. Don't you dare make jokes right now. What did you do? Dante was quiet for a moment. I paid your daughter's medical bills. The receipt should have arrived. You had no right. She needs treatment. You were drowning in debt. I had the resources. Simple math. Emma felt tears of rage and frustration burning. You don't get to decide what my daughter needs. You don't get to just fix my problems without asking. Would you have accepted if I asked? No. Exactly. His voice softened slightly. Emma, listen. I don't want your money. I don't want your help. I want you to leave us alone. I can't do that. Something in his tone made her pause. Not apologetic, not uncertain, just final, decided. You have to, Emma said. Whatever you think you're doing, whatever this is, it stops now. I'll pay you back. Every penny. It'll take time, but I don't want your money. Then what do you want? The question hung in the air. Emma heard her own heartbeat, her breath coming too fast. On the other end of the line, Dante was silent. I want you safe, he finally said. You and Lily. That's all. Why? You don't know us. One plane ride doesn't... James Crawford has been arrested twice for assault. Both charges dropped because the victims recanted. He's been following you for 3 weeks. Your restraining order is useless because he has a cousin in the local precinct who tips him off whenever you file a report. Dante's voice went hard. Should I continue? Emma felt cold wash through her. How do you know all that? Because I looked. Because that man is dangerous and you need protection whether you admit it or not. I can take care of myself. Can you? What happens the next time he corners you somewhere without witnesses? What happens when he decides to go after Lily instead? Emma's chest tightened. Don't you dare use my daughter to... I'm not using anyone. I'm stating facts. Crawford is escalating. You're vulnerable. I have resources to change that. He paused. Let me help you. I don't even know what you do, who you are. For all I know, you're worse than James. Another pause. Longer this time. Emma heard something that might have been a laugh, bitter and low. You're probably right about that, Dante said, but I'm not a threat to you. I'm offering protection, not prison. Protection comes with strings. Not this time. Everyone wants something. I want you alive. His voice dropped, became almost gentle. Is that so hard to believe? Yes, Emma wanted to say. Yes, it is. Because men like him didn't help women like her without expecting something in return. Rich men, powerful men. Men who made hospital bills disappear with a phone call. Men who knew things they shouldn't. Who had people working for them. Who carried themselves with the absolute confidence of someone who always got his way. I need to go, Emma said. Lily's awake, and I have work. Where do you work? Why? Because Crawford knows already. I'm just asking. Emma's jaw clenched. Rosie's Diner, on 47th. I know it. Good breakfast special. Despite everything, Emma almost smiled. You've eaten there. Once or twice, the pie is excellent. I'll tell Rosie you said so. Emma. His voice stopped her before she could hang up. Keep my number. When you need me, call. No judgment, no strings. Just call. Emma ended the call without answering. She stood in her tiny kitchen. The receipt felt heavy in her hand. $47,000. Gone. Just like that. She should feel relieved, grateful, free. Instead, she felt terrified. Because men like Dante Moretti didn't give away that kind of money without reason, and whatever his reason was, it couldn't be good for her. The diner was busy. Emma poured coffee and delivered plates on autopilot. Her mind kept circling back to the envelope, to Dante's voice on the phone, to the casual way he'd admitted to investigating her entire life. She should be angry. She was angry. But underneath the anger lived something else. Something that felt dangerously close to relief. Order up, Rosie called from the kitchen. Emma grabbed the plates, carried them to table 6. A businessman looked up from his phone and grunted thanks. She refilled his coffee without being asked. The morning rush began to thin. Emma wiped down counters and refilled sugar dispensers. Normal tasks, soothing in their routine. The bell over the door chimed. Emma glanced up. Her whole body went rigid. James stood in the entrance, his eyes locked on her. His smile was cruel. "Hey, babe," James said. "Miss me?" Emma felt fear spike through her. The other waitress, Denise, looked between them nervously. Two customers at the counter turned to watch. "You need to leave," Emma said. Her voice was steady, calm. "You're violating the restraining order." "Restraining order?" James laughed. "That's just paper, doesn't mean anything. It means you're breaking the law. Call the cops then. See how fast they show up." He moved closer. His hands were in his pockets, but his whole body radiated threat. "We both know they won't come, not for you." Emma backed toward the kitchen. Rosie appeared in the doorway. She was 60 and tough. She held a rolling pin. "Out," Rosie said. "Now, or I'm calling the police myself. This is between me and Emma." "Nothing is between you and Emma. You're harassing my employee. That makes it my business." Rosie raised the rolling pin. "Get out, before I make you get out." James's face went red. His hands curled into fists. Emma saw the moment he decided violence was worth it. She'd seen that look before. Right before he'd shoved her into a wall. Right before he'd grabbed Lily's arm hard enough to leave fingerprints. "James, please," Emma said quietly. "Just go. This doesn't have to." The door opened again. A man in a dark suit stepped inside, then another, then three more. They formed a loose semicircle behind James, professional, silent, radiating controlled danger. James turned. His face went pale. Dante walked through the door last. He wore a different suit. This one was charcoal gray. His dark eyes swept the diner, found Emma. Something shifted in his expression. Relief, maybe, or anger that she was in danger. "Problem here?" Dante asked. His voice was casual, friendly even, but underneath ran something cold and lethal. James looked between Dante and the other men. "Who the hell are you?" "A concerned customer." Dante smiled. No warmth in it. "And you are. None of your damn business. Actually, when you threaten someone I care about, it becomes my business." Dante took a step forward. Just one. James stumbled backward. "So I'll ask again. Who are you?" "I'm her boyfriend." "Ex-boyfriend," Emma said quickly. "Very ex." Dante's eyes found hers. She saw the question there. "Are you okay?" She nodded slightly. His jaw clenched. "Seems like the lady's made her position clear," Dante said. "Time for you to leave." "I'm not taking orders from you." "Yes, you are." Dante's voice went flat. Dead. "You have two choices. Walk out now and never bother Emma again, or my associates escort you out. And trust me, you don't want option 2. James looked at the men in dark suits. Whatever he saw made him go even paler. His hands started to shake. "This isn't over," James said to Emma. "One," Dante said softly. James turned and pushed through the door. He half ran down the sidewalk. The men in suits watched him go. Then they filed out after him. Professional, coordinated, scary. Only Dante remained. He turned to Rosie. "I apologize for the disruption," Dante said. His voice was polite, courteous. Nothing like the cold threat from a moment ago. Rosie studied him with sharp eyes. "You that Moretti boy?" Something flickered across Dante's face. Surprise, maybe. "You know my family?" "Knew your grandfather. Sal Moretti. He used to come in here 50 years ago." Rosie's mouth twitched. "You got his eyes. And his talent for scaring the piss out of people. I'll take that as a compliment." It wasn't one, but Rosie's expression softened slightly, though I suppose in this case it's useful. That boy's been bothering Emma for weeks. "Not anymore." Rosie looked at Emma, then back to Dante. Her eyes narrowed. "What's your interest in my girl? She needs protection. I'm providing it. And what's she providing you?" "Rosie," Emma said quickly. Her face burned. "It's not like that, isn't it?" Rosie crossed her arms. "Rich men don't help poor girls out of kindness. Everyone knows that." "I'm not everyone," Dante said quietly. They stared at each other. Some silent communication Emma couldn't follow. Finally, Rosie nodded once. "You hurt her, and I don't care who your grandfather was. I'll come for you myself." Dante's mouth almost smiled. "Understood." Rosie disappeared into the kitchen. The other customers had gone back to their food. The crisis passed. Normal restored. Except nothing was normal anymore. Emma's breath caught. She walked over to Dante, stopped a few feet away. Safe distance, professional distance. Her chest tightened with emotions she couldn't name. "You're following me," Emma said. "I'm protecting you." "I didn't ask for protection." Crawford doesn't care what you ask for. He's going to keep coming. Today proved that. Emma felt tears threaten. She blinked them back hard. I can't do this. I can't be someone's project, or charity case, or whatever I am to you. You're not a project. Dante stepped closer. His voice softened. You're a woman who needs help. There's no shame in that. There's always shame in it. Only if you let there be. Emma looked up at him. His dark eyes held hers. She saw concern there, real concern. Not pity, not calculation, just care. When was the last time someone had looked at her with care? What do you want from me? Emma asked. Her voice cracked. Really? What's the cost of all this? Dante was quiet for a long moment. His jaw worked. Some internal battle played out across his face. Then his expression went soft in a way that made her breath catch. Nothing, he said. I want nothing from you except the knowledge that you're safe. Why? Because... He stopped, started again. Because I've seen what happens when dangerous men get their way. I've lost people I should have protected. I'm not losing anyone else. Not if I can help it. Something shifted in his eyes. Pain, deep and old and still raw. Emma recognized that pain. She carried her own version every day. Who did you lose? Emma asked softly. My wife, my daughter, 3 years ago. A rival family targeted me. They died instead. His voice was flat, empty. I was supposed to protect them. I failed. Emma felt her throat tighten. I'm sorry. So am I. He looked at her, really looked at her. But I can't change the past. I can only try to do better now. With you, with Lily. We're not your second chance. I know that, but maybe... He trailed off, shook his head. Let me help you, please. No strings, no expectations. Just help. Emma wanted to say no, wanted to push him away, maintain her independence and pride. But pride didn't pay bills. Pride didn't stop men like James. Pride didn't keep Lily safe. And God, she was tired of fighting alone. One condition, Emma said. Name it. You don't make decisions for me. You ask first. Always. My life. My choices. Dante considered this, then nodded. Agreed. And if I say stop, you stop. All of this. The protection, the money, everything. All right. You mean that? His eyes found hers. I've never lied to you, Emma. I'm not starting now. Emma felt something loosen in her chest. Relief, exhaustion, trust she had no business giving, but she gave it anyway. What choice did she have? Okay, she said quietly. Help me, but on my terms. Dante smiled. A real smile this time. Small but genuine. It transformed his face, made him look younger, almost happy. Deal, he said. The rest of Emma's shift passed in a blur. Dante stayed. He sat at the counter and ordered coffee, worked on his phone, stayed close enough to watch, but far enough to give her space. The other waitresses whispered. Customers stared. Emma ignored them all. She poured coffee and delivered plates and tried to process what had just happened. She'd accepted help from Dante Moretti. A man she didn't know. A man who clearly had resources and power and secrets. A man who'd lost his family and still carried that loss in his eyes. A man who looked at her like she mattered. That last part scared her most. At 2 o'clock, Emma's shift ended. She untied her apron and grabbed her bag. Dante stood as she approached. I'll drive you home, he said. I can take the bus. I know you can, but my car is more comfortable and safer. Emma wanted to argue, but her feet hurt. Her head ached, and the thought of a comfortable car instead of a crowded bus was too tempting. Fine, she said, but just today. Of course. They walked outside together. A black town car waited at the curb. The driver opened the back door. Emma hesitated. This felt real suddenly. Accepting this ride meant accepting everything that came with it. She got in anyway. The seat was leather, soft and warm. The car smelled clean, expensive. Nothing like the bus with its sticky floors and broken AC. Dante slid in beside her. Not too close, respectful distance. The driver pulled into traffic smoothly. I need to pick up Lily, Emma said, from Mrs. Chen's apartment. Of course. What's the address? Emma gave it. The driver nodded and changed direction. They drove in silence. Emma watched the city pass. Her fingers twisted in her lap. Her chest tightened with anxiety. You're nervous, Dante said quietly. Wouldn't you be? Probably. This is new territory for both of us. Emma looked at him. You do this often? Rescue strange women? Never. Then why me? Dante turned to face her. His dark eyes searched hers. Because you fell asleep on my shoulder. And for an hour I got to remember what it felt like to protect someone, to matter to someone, even if you didn't know it." He paused. "I hadn't felt that in 3 years. And then you woke up and I thought I'd never see you again. But then Crawford appeared and I knew I couldn't walk away." Emma's breath caught. The honesty in his voice was raw, painful, beautiful in its vulnerability. "That's a lot of pressure," she said softly. "I know, I'm sorry. You don't owe me anything. You don't have to—" "No, I mean, it's a lot of pressure on you, trying to save someone to make up for the ones you lost. That's not fair to you either." Dante went very still, his jaw clenched. Something shifted in his expression. Surprise, maybe. That she saw him. Really saw him. "You're very perceptive," he said. "I've had a lot of therapy. Court-mandated after I left James the first time." Emma smiled sadly. "Turns out I'm good at reading people. Just bad at protecting myself from them." "Not anymore. Not anymore," she agreed. The car pulled up outside Mrs. Chen's building. Emma got out quickly. Dante followed. They climbed 3 flights of stairs. The building smelled like cooking and old carpets. Nothing like the sterile wealth Dante probably knew. Mrs. Chen answered on the first knock. Lily stood behind her. The little girl's face lit up when she saw Emma. "Mama!" Emma caught her daughter in a hug. Lily felt too light, too fragile. But she was here. She was safe. That was all that mattered. "How was she?" Emma asked Mrs. Chen. "Good. Quiet. We did puzzles and watched cartoons." Mrs. Chen looked past Emma to Dante. Her eyes narrowed. "Who's this?" "A friend," Emma said quickly. "He's helping us with some things." "What kind of things?" "Security things," Dante said. His voice was polite. "Emma's ex-boyfriend has been harassing her. I'm making sure he stops." Mrs. Chen looked him up and down. "You police?" "No, ma'am." "Then what are you?" "Someone with resources." The old woman studied him for a long moment. Then she looked at Emma. "You trust him?" Emma hesitated. Did she? Could she? She barely knew him, but something in her gut said yes. Said that despite everything, despite the danger he probably represented, Dante Moretti wouldn't hurt her. "Yes," Emma said. "I trust him." Mrs. Chen nodded slowly. "All right then. But you be careful, sweetie. Men with resources usually want something in return." "I know, but he says he doesn't. Men lie." "Not this time," Dante said quietly. "I give you my word." Something in his tone made Mrs. Chen's expression soften. She looked at him with knowing eyes, like she saw past the expensive suit to something underneath. "You've lost someone," Mrs. Chen said. Not a question, a statement. Dante's jaw tightened. "Yes. Recently? 3 years ago. My wife and daughter." "Ah," Mrs. Chen nodded. "That explains it then. You're trying to save the ones you couldn't save before." "Mrs. Chen," Emma said quickly. "That's not—" "It's all right." Dante looked at the old woman. "You're right, and maybe that makes me selfish. But it doesn't change the fact that Emma needs help, and I can give it." "Just don't forget," Mrs. Chen said. "She's not your wife. That little girl isn't your daughter. You can't replace what you lost." "I'm not trying to replace anyone. I'm just trying to do the right thing." They stared at each other. Some understanding passed between them. Finally, Mrs. Chen stepped back. "Go on then. Take care of them. But remember what I said." "I will. Thank you." They walked back down the stairs. Lily held Emma's hand tightly. She kept looking up at Dante with wide, curious eyes. Emma's stomach twisted. Her daughter was already interested, already starting to trust. That was dangerous. Because what happened when Dante decided he'd done enough? When the novelty wore off and he went back to his life, they'd be alone again, and Lily would be hurt. "Mama," Lily whispered. "Who is he?" "A friend. He's helping us stay safe from James." "Is James coming back?" Emma felt her throat tighten. "Not if we can help it." They reached the car. Dante opened the door for them. Lily climbed in first. She pressed her face to the window immediately, fascinated by the luxury. Emma slid in beside her daughter. Dante got in on the other side. The driver pulled away from the curb. "Where to?" Dante asked. "Home. We need to go home." "All right. And then?" Emma looked at him. "And then what?" "And then we figure out how to keep you safe long term. Crawford won't stop with one warning. He'll come back, probably angrier than before." Emma felt fear curl in her stomach. "What do you suggest?" "Security. Cameras outside your apartment. Someone watching the building at night. Maybe—" "No." Emma shook her head. "I can't afford that. I'm not asking you to pay, and I can't accept that level of help." "Why not?" "Because it makes me completely dependent on you. Because the day you decide you're done helping, Lily and I will be even more vulnerable than before." Dante was quiet. His jaw worked. Emma saw him processing, calculating, coming to some decision. "What if it wasn't temporary?" he asked. "What do you mean? What if you and Lily moved into my estate, temporarily, just until Crawford is dealt with properly?" Emma stared at him. "You can't be serious." "I'm very serious. I have a guest house, completely separate from the main residence. You'd have privacy, safety, everything you need. I can't just move in with a stranger." "You wouldn't be moving in with me. You'd be moving into a secure location where Crawford can't reach you." Dante leaned forward slightly. "Emma, please, think about Lily. Think about what's best for her." Emma looked at her daughter. Lily had fallen asleep against her shoulder, exhausted despite it being only mid-afternoon. Her breathing wheezed slightly. The medication was wearing off. God, Emma was tired. Tired of fighting. Tired of being scared. Tired of choosing between food and medicine. Between safety and pride. "1 week," Emma heard herself say. "We'll try it for 1 week. If it doesn't work, we leave. No arguments." Dante's whole body relaxed. Relief washed across his face. "1 week, I promise." Emma nodded. She'd just agreed to move into a stranger's house. A powerful, dangerous stranger who'd paid her daughter's medical bills without asking, who'd scared James away with just his presence, who looked at her like she was someone worth protecting. This was possibly the worst decision of her life, or the best. She had no idea which. The car drove through Manhattan, away from Emma's neighborhood, towards something unknown. Dante made calls on his phone, quiet, efficient conversations, arranging things, preparing. Emma held Lily close. Her daughter's breathing was soft against her neck. Whatever happened next, at least Lily would be safe, at least for a week. That had to be enough. It had to be. She closed her eyes. Tried not to think about the fact that her life had completely changed in 24 hours. Tried not to wonder what Dante Moretti really wanted from her. Tried not to notice the way her heart beat faster when he looked at her. Failed on all counts. The car turned onto a long private drive. Trees lined both sides. Through them, Emma glimpsed a massive estate. Stone walls, manicured lawns, the kind of wealth she'd only seen in movies. This was Dante's world. A world where problems disappeared with money and power. A world where men gave orders and expected obedience. A world Emma Torres had no business entering, but she was entering it anyway. Because sometimes survival meant swallowing pride. Sometimes it meant accepting help from dangerous men. Sometimes it meant trusting the wrong person and hoping it didn't destroy you. The car stopped. Dante turned to her. His dark eyes were gentle, concerned. "Ready?" he asked. No, Emma thought. Not even close. "Yes," she said. The guest house was larger than Emma's entire apartment. 2 bedrooms, a full kitchen, windows that looked out on gardens she'd only seen in magazines. Lily explored every corner with wide eyes. "Mama, look," Lily said. She stood in her new bedroom. A bed twice the size of her old one dominated the space. Stuffed animals lined the shelves. "Are these for me?" Emma felt her chest tighten. "I think so, baby. Can I keep them? We'll see." Dante stood in the doorway. His presence filled the space. Emma was acutely aware of him, of how close he was, of how her body reacted to his nearness. "They're hers," Dante said quietly. "Everything here is yours, for as long as you need it." 1 week, Emma reminded him. "That's what we agreed. 1 week, yes." But something in his eyes said he didn't believe it would stop there. Emma turned away. She couldn't look at him right now. Couldn't process the complicated feelings swirling in her chest. Gratitude and fear and something dangerous that felt too much attraction. "Thank you," Emma said. Her voice was stiff, formal. "This is very generous. It's practical. You need safety. I have space." "Right. Practical." Lily ran past them toward the kitchen. Her footsteps echoed on hardwood floors. Emma heard her daughter's delighted gasp. More discoveries. More luxury Emma could never provide. "She seems happy," Dante said. "She's 7. Everything is exciting when you're 7. And when you're 29? Emma finally looked at him. His dark eyes held hers. She saw genuine curiosity there. He really wanted to know, wanted to understand her. "When you're 29 and responsible for someone else's life, nothing is exciting. Everything is terrifying." Emma crossed her arms. "But you probably know that already. You have people depending on you. Different kind of responsibility. Is it? You make decisions that affect their lives, their safety, their futures. That's terrifying no matter what world you live in." Dante's expression shifted. Something like respect crossed his face. "You're right. I hadn't thought of it that way. Most people don't. Emma walked toward the kitchen. She needed distance, space to think. I should help Lily settle in. Emma, his voice stopped her. I know this is strange, uncomfortable, but I'm glad you're here, both of you. Emma felt her throat tighten. Don't get attached, this is temporary. Everything is temporary. She looked back at him. He stood in the doorway, alone, powerful, broken, just like her. Yes, Emma said softly. It is. The first 3 days passed in careful routine. Emma woke early, made breakfast, helped Lily with schoolwork. Mrs. Chen came by to watch Lily while Emma worked her shifts at the diner. Dante was there, always. Not intrusive, just present. He appeared at the diner during her lunch rush, sat at the counter, ordered coffee and pie, watched the door, made sure James didn't show up. He drove them home each night, asked about Lily's day, listened when Emma talked about difficult customers or sore feet, never pushed for more than she offered. It was nice. That scared Emma more than anything. On the 4th day, Lily asked to see Dante's house, the main residence. Emma wanted to say no, wanted to maintain boundaries. But Lily's hopeful face made her agree. They walked across the manicured lawn. The main house loomed ahead, stone and glass and architectural perfection. A butler opened the door. He nodded politely and stepped aside. Inside was even more impressive. High ceilings, marble floors, art that probably cost more than Emma would make in her lifetime. But despite the luxury, something felt cold, empty, like a museum instead of a home. Where's Dante? Lily asked. Her voice echoed. Mr. Moretti is in his office, the butler said. Should I inform him of your arrival? No, that's okay, Emma said quickly. We don't want to interrupt. Nonsense. Dante's voice came from above. He descended a curved staircase. Casual clothes today, dark jeans, a black sweater. He looked younger, almost relaxed. You're not interrupting anything important. Lily ran toward him. She stopped a few feet away, shy suddenly. Dante crouched down to her level. His expression gentled in a way Emma had never seen. Hi, Lily, Dante said. Hi. Lily's voice was small. Your house is really big. It is. Too big for just me. Are you lonely? Emma felt her breath catch. Kids and their brutal honesty. She opened her mouth to redirect, but Dante spoke first. Yes, he said simply. I am lonely. This house used to be full of people. My wife, my daughter, staff, friends. Now it's mostly empty. That's sad. It is. Lily, but having you and your mum here helps. Then she pulled something from her pocket. A drawing, crayon on construction paper, a house, 2 stick figures, 1 tall, 1 small. I made this for you, Lily said, so you don't forget we're here. Dante took the drawing with careful hands. His jaw clenched, his eyes went bright. Emma saw him fighting emotion, losing the battle. Thank you, Dante said. His voice was rough. This is the nicest gift anyone's given me in a long time. You can put it on your fridge. I will, I promise. He stood. Lily smiled up at him, complete trust in her face. Emma felt something crack in her chest. This was dangerous. Lily was getting attached, and when they left in 3 days, her daughter would be heartbroken. Lily, go look at the garden, Emma said. Through those doors, but stay where I can see you. Lily nodded and skipped toward the glass doors. She pressed her face against them, marveled at the fountains and flowers beyond. Emma turned to Dante. You can't do that. Do what? Be kind to her, gentle, make her think. Emma stopped. Her throat tightened. She's getting attached, and when we leave, she'll be hurt. Then don't leave. We had a deal. I know, but deals can be renegotiated. Dante stepped closer. Not threatening, just intense. Stay longer, a month, 2 months. However long it takes to make sure Crawford is dealt with. Dealt with how? His expression went cold, flat, however necessary. Emma felt fear spike through her. I don't want you to hurt him. Why not? He's hurt you, threatened Lily. He deserves... I don't want blood on my conscience. I don't want Lily growing up knowing someone died because of us. He won't die. Probably. Dante's mouth twitched. Not quite a smile. But he will understand that you're protected. That touching you means consequences he can't survive. That's still violence. Violence that keeps you safe. Emma wanted to argue. Wanted to claim moral high ground. But the truth was she wasn't sure she cared if James got hurt. Not really. Not after everything he'd done. That realization made her feel sick. I need time to think, Emma said. Take all the time you need. But while you're thinking, you're staying here where it's safe. You're very bossy. I'm very protective. There's a difference. Emma felt her lips twitch despite herself. Is there? Absolutely. Bossy is telling you what to do. Protective is strongly suggesting what's best for you and then respecting your choice. And if I choose to leave? Dante's jaw clenched. Then I'll drive you home myself and assign security to watch your building, and pray Crawford doesn't get past them. His honesty surprised her. She'd expected him to refuse, to use his power and resources to keep her here against her will. But he wasn't. He was giving her control, even when it clearly terrified him. Okay, Emma said softly. Okay what? Okay, we'll stay, not forever, but longer than a week until Crawford is handled. Relief washed across Dante's face. Thank you. Don't thank me. I'm being selfish, choosing safety over pride. That's not selfish, that's smart. He paused. And for what it's worth, I'm glad you're here, both of you. This house feels less empty with you in it. Emma felt her chest tighten. She looked at him, really looked at him, saw past the power and control to the grief underneath, the loneliness he carried every day. You need to let them go, Emma said quietly. Who? Your wife? Your daughter? You're still holding on to them, still punishing yourself for their deaths. Dante went very still. His eyes found hers, hard now, defensive. You don't know what you're talking about, don't I? I see the way you look at Lily, like she's a ghost, like she reminds you of someone you lost. Emma's voice was gentle. She's not your daughter, and I'm not your wife. You can't save them by saving us. I know that. Do you? Because from where I'm standing, it looks a lot trying to rewrite the past. Dante's hands curled into fists. Anger flashed across his face, then something else. Pain, raw and devastating. Maybe I am, he said. His voice was low, rough. Maybe I'm trying to do better this time, to protect the people in front of me instead of the ones I've already lost. Is that so wrong? No, but it's not fair to you, or to us. Life isn't fair. We both know that. Emma felt tears threaten. He was right. Life wasn't fair. Bad things happen to good people. Children got sick. Men like James got away with violence. Women like Emma fought just to survive. I'm sorry, Emma said. I shouldn't have. You're right, Dante cut her off. You're completely right. I am trying to rewrite the past, but I can't seem to stop. Every time I look at you, at Lily, I see a chance to do better, to be better. And I know it's selfish, but I can't let that go. His honesty made her breath catch. The vulnerability in his eyes was almost painful to witness. This powerful man admitting weakness, admitting need. What happened to them? Emma asked softly. Your wife and daughter? Dante's jaw clenched. He looked away, toward the windows where Lily pressed her face against the glass. When he spoke, his voice was flat, dead. Car bomb. Meant for me. I was supposed to be driving that day, but Sophia wanted to go to her mother's house. She took Maria with her. Our daughter was 6. She loved visiting her grandmother. He paused. The bomb went off 3 blocks from my house. By the time I got there, they were gone. Both of them, just gone. Emma felt horror wash through her. God, Dante, I'm so sorry. The family responsible is gone now. Completely. Every member, every associate, I made sure of that. His eyes found hers. Cold now. Deadly. I'm not a good man, Emma. I've done terrible things, killed people, destroyed lives, but I did it for them, for justice, for revenge. And did it help? The revenge? No. The word was hollow. It didn't bring them back. It didn't ease the guilt. It just made me emptier. Emma crossed the distance between them. She didn't think, just acted. She took his hand. His fingers were cold, tense. Slowly, they curled around hers. You're not empty, Emma said. You're grieving. There's a difference. Is there? Yes. Empty means there's nothing left. Grieving means you loved so much it still hurts. That's not emptiness. That's proof you're still human. Dante looked at their joined hands. Something shifted in his expression, softened. His thumb brushed across her knuckles. The touch was gentle, tentative. You're very wise, he said quietly. I've had good therapists. He almost smiled. Almost. I should probably get one of those. Probably. But in the meantime, stop punishing yourself. What happened wasn't your fault. It was. I made enemies. I put them in danger. And the person who planted that bomb made a choice. They chose violence, not you. I chose a life that invites violence. And now you're choosing to protect someone else from it. That's growth. Emma squeezed his hand. Give yourself permission to heal. Dante was quiet for a long moment. His eyes searched hers, looking for something. Permission, maybe. Or forgiveness he didn't think he deserved. I don't know how, he finally said. Neither do I. But maybe we can figure it out together. The words hung between them, heavy with meaning neither wanted to acknowledge. Emma's breath caught. Dante's eyes darkened. He looked at her mouth, then away. His jaw clenched with visible effort. Together, he repeated. Eyed it. The moment broke when Lily knocked on the glass. She waved at them, her face bright with joy. Emma pulled her hand free and waved back. She's happy here, Dante said. For now, but happiness doesn't last. Maybe it could if you let it. Emma looked at him. You're talking about more than just staying here, aren't you? I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know that having you here feels right, and I haven't felt right about anything in 3 years. Emma felt her chest tighten. This was moving too fast, getting too complicated. She should pull back, establish boundaries, protect her heart. But her heart wasn't listening. Her heart wanted to stay close, wanted to believe that maybe, just maybe, this dangerous man could keep them safe, could be trusted with more than just their security. One day at a time, Emma said. That's all I can promise. That's enough. 3 more days passed. Lily grew stronger with consistent medication. Her cough eased, her color improved. She laughed more, played in the garden with Marco's kids when they visited on Sunday. Emma watched from the patio. Dante sat beside her. They'd fallen into this routine. Quiet moments together while Lily played, conversations about nothing and everything, comfortable silence. She's thriving, Dante said. She is. Thank you. For the medication, the safety, all of it. You don't need to thank me. I do. You've given us more than we could have hoped for. Dante turned to face her. His expression was serious. I want to give you more. Emma felt her stomach flip. What do you mean? A job. Here. Managing the household staff. It pays 3 times what you make at the diner. Better hours, benefits, you'd be close to Lily. Dante, before you say no, think about it. Really think about it. You wouldn't have to worry about bills, about medication, about James showing up at your work. He paused. You could build a life here, a safe life. Emma felt tears threaten. The offer was too perfect, too generous, too much what she desperately needed. I can't accept that, Emma said. Why not? Because it makes me completely dependent on you. What happens when you get tired of us? When the novelty wears off? That won't happen. You don't know that. Dante reached over. His hand covered hers. I've never been more certain of anything. You and Lily belong here, in this house, in my life. We barely know each other. I know you're strong, devoted, fiercely protective of your daughter. I know you've survived things that would break most people. I know you're terrified of trusting anyone, but you're doing it anyway because Lily needs you to. His voice softened. I know that when you smile, it makes me remember what happiness feels like. Emma's breath caught. She looked at their joined hands. His touch was warm, solid, safe. This is crazy, she whispered. Probably. But my life has been crazy for years. This is the best kind of crazy I've experienced. Emma laughed, despite herself. The best kind of crazy? Absolutely. The kind that makes me want to wake up in the morning. The kind that makes me think maybe I deserve a second chance after all. His honesty made her chest ache. She looked up at him. His dark eyes held hers, open, vulnerable, everything she'd never expected from a man with his power. I need time, Emma said, to think about the job, about staying, about all of this. Take all the time you need, but I'm not leaving yet. We'll stay until we figure this out. Relief washed across his face. Thank you. They sat in silence, watching Lily play, the sun warm on their skin. For a moment everything felt perfect, peaceful, right. Emma let herself believe it could last, just for a moment, just long enough to remember what hope felt like. Then her phone rang, unknown number. She answered without thinking. Hello? Heavy breathing. Then James's voice, low and angry. I know where you are. Emma felt ice flood her veins. Her hand started to shake. Dante noticed immediately. His expression went hard. James, Moretti's estate, very nice. Guess you always were looking to trade up. It's not what you think, isn't it? You leave me and immediately move in with some rich bastard? That was fast, Emma. Even for you. Emma felt anger rise hot and fast. We're done. You don't get to judge my choices. I get to judge when you're whoring yourself out. Dante took the phone from her hand. His movement was smooth, controlled, but his eyes were murder. Crawford, Dante said. His voice was ice. You have 10 seconds to explain how you got this number. Then I'm going to find you. Emma heard James's laugh through the speaker. Manic, unhinged. You think you scare me. You think your money and your goons matter. I think you're about to find out exactly how much they matter. Touch me and I go to the cops. Tell them everything about your little operation. Go ahead. I have half the department on my payroll. The other half knows better than to cross me. Dante's voice dropped lower. You're out of options, out of time, and out of chances. If you contact Emma again, if you come anywhere near her or Lily, I will end you. Permanently. Big words from a mobster playing house. Not words, promise. Dante paused. I've killed better men than you for less. Don't test me. The line went dead. Dante handed the phone back. His jaw was clenched so tight, Emma could see the muscle jumping. His hands curled into fists. He knows we're here, Emma said. Her voice shook. How does he know? He's watching, following, or he paid someone for information. Dante stood. Doesn't matter. He made a mistake threatening you on a recorded line. Recorded. All my calls are recorded for security. Now I have proof of his threats. Evidence for a harassment charge. That won't stop him. No, but it gives me legal cover for what happens next. Emma felt fear spike. What happens next? Dante looked at her. His eyes were cold, empty. This was the man who'd destroyed an entire family, who'd killed without hesitation, who ran a criminal empire with absolute control. I handle it, Dante said simply. How? You don't want to know? Yes, I do. If you're going to do something terrible in my name, I have a right to know. Dante considered this, then nodded. Fair enough. I'm going to have my people pick him up, take him somewhere quiet. Explain very clearly what will happen if he ever contacts you again. Then I'm going to make sure he leaves the state, permanently. You're going to threaten him. I'm going to terrify him. There's a difference. Emma felt sick, and relieved, and guilty for feeling relieved. I shouldn't want this, but you do. Yes, the admission hurt. I do. God help me, I want him gone. I want to stop being afraid. Dante crossed back to her. He crouched down, took her face in his hands. His touch was gentle despite the violence in his eyes. Then let me do this, he said. Let me make you safe, really safe, not just temporarily. Emma felt tears fall. What if it changes me? What if knowing you hurt someone for me makes me as bad as you? You could never be bad. You're too good, too pure. I'm not pure. I'm angry and scared and I want terrible things. That makes you human, not bad. His thumbs wiped away her tears. Let me do this. Please. Emma nodded. She couldn't speak, could only lean into his touch and try not to fall apart completely. Behind them, Lily called out, happy, oblivious, playing in a garden while her mother made deals with dangerous men. Dante pressed a kiss to Emma's forehead. Brief, gentle, devastating. Then he stood and walked inside. His phone was already at his ear, giving orders, setting violence in motion, all for her, all to keep her safe. Emma felt her heart crack open. This was wrong, dangerous. She should stop it, should walk away, should protect what was left of her moral high ground. But she didn't. She sat in the sunshine and let Dante Moretti wage war on her behalf, let him do the terrible things she couldn't do herself, and hated herself for being grateful, for feeling safe, for starting to believe that maybe she could build a life here after all, even if that life was built on blood and threats and power she didn't understand. That night, Emma couldn't sleep. She paced the guest house, checked on Lily 3 times. Lily slept peacefully, unaware of the danger swirling around them. At midnight, Emma heard a car. She looked out the window. Dante's town car pulled up to the main house. He climbed out. His suit was rumpled, his jaw tight. He looked exhausted. Emma pulled on a sweater, walked across the lawn without thinking. Her feet carried her toward him, toward danger, toward something she couldn't name. Dante saw her coming. He stopped, waited. His expression was unreadable. Is it done? Emma asked when she reached him. It's done. Crawford is on a plane to California. He won't come back. How can you be sure? Because I explained what would happen if he did, and he believed me. Dante's voice was flat. He won't bother you again. Emma felt relief wash through her, then guilt for feeling relieved. Her hands shook. Did you hurt him? Do you really want to know? Yes. Dante looked at her for a long moment, then nodded. Not much. A broken finger. Some bruising. Enough to make the point clear. Just that? Just that. I'm not a monster, Emma. I don't hurt people unnecessarily. But you do hurt people. When required. Yes. Emma should be horrified, should recoil from him. Instead, she stepped closer, close enough to feel his heat, to see the exhaustion in his eyes. Thank you, she whispered. Dante's eyes widened. You're thanking me for keeping us safe. for doing what needed to be done. Emma's voice cracked. I know it cost you something. I see it in your eyes. It cost nothing. For you, for Lily, I'd do far worse. Something in his voice made her breath catch. The intensity, the absolute certainty. He meant it. Every word. Dante, I'm falling for you. The words came out rough, honest. I know I shouldn't. I know it's too fast, but I can't help it. You've woken something in me I thought was dead. Emma felt tears burn. I'm falling too, and it terrifies me. Why? Because men don't keep me. They use me and leave. And when you leave, it will destroy me. Dante stepped closer. His hands cupped her face. I'm not leaving. I'm not using you. I'm falling in love with you, and I have no idea how to stop. Emma's breath caught. Her heart hammered against her ribs. This was too much, too fast, too real. This is crazy, she whispered. I know. We barely know each other. I know. I come with complications. A daughter, an ex, problems you don't need. I know. His forehead pressed against hers. And I don't care. I want you anyway, both of you. However you'll have me. Emma felt something break inside her. All the walls she'd built, all the protection she'd wrapped around her heart. It crumbled under the weight of his honesty. Kiss me, she whispered. Dante went still. Emma, please, before I lose my nerve, before I remember all the reasons this is a bad idea. Just kiss me. His eyes searched hers, looking for certainty, for permission. Emma gave it with her gaze, with her breath, with the way she leaned into him. Dante kissed her, slow, careful, like she was something precious. His lips were soft despite his hardness, gentle despite his violence, perfect despite everything. Emma kissed him back, poured everything into it, fear and hope and need and gratitude. 3 years of loneliness, of fighting alone, of pretending she didn't need anyone. The kiss deepened. Dante's arms wrapped around her, pulled her close. She felt safe, cherished, wanted. When they finally broke apart, both were breathing hard. Dante's eyes were dark, intense. Emma's breath caught. That was... Emma started. Perfect, Dante finished. Complicated. That too. Emma laughed. It came out watery, emotional. What are we doing? I don't know, but I want to keep doing it. Me too. Emma pressed her forehead against his chest. God help me. Me too. They stood there, under the stars, in each other's arms. Two broken people finding something whole in each other. Emma knew this wouldn't last. Nothing good ever did. But for tonight, she let herself believe, let herself hope, let herself fall for a dangerous man who'd somehow become her safety. Tomorrow would bring new problems, new fears, new reasons why this couldn't work. But tonight, she was in Dante Moretti's arms, and that was enough. The next 2 weeks felt almost normal. Emma woke in the guest house, made breakfast with Lily, watched her daughter grow stronger each day. The cough disappeared. Color returned to Lily's cheeks. She laughed more, played harder, became the child she should have been all along. Dante joined them for dinner most nights. He taught Lily to play chess, read her bedtime stories when Emma was too tired, made them both feel cherished in ways Emma had forgotten were possible. Emma felt herself falling deeper. She tried to fight it, tried to maintain distance, failed every time Dante looked at her with those dark eyes, every time he touched her hand across the dinner table, every time he kissed her goodnight under the stars. This is dangerous, Emma said one evening. They stood on the patio. Lily slept inside. The night was warm and quiet. I know, Dante said. His arm was around her waist. She fit against him perfectly. We're getting too comfortable. Is that so bad? Emma looked up at him. His face was relaxed, happy. She'd done that. She'd brought light back into his eyes. The knowledge made her chest tighten. Yes, because comfortable makes me forget that this isn't real life. Real life is my apartment in Queens, my job at the diner, struggling to pay bills. What if this could be your real life? It can't. You know it can't. Dante turned to face her. His hands cupped her face. Why not? Give me one good reason. Because you're you and I'm me. We're from different worlds. So what? Worlds collide all the time. And usually one destroys the other. His jaw clenched. I would never destroy you. Not on purpose. But your life is violence and power. My life is PTA meetings and grocery shopping. Those don't mix. They could, if you let them. Emma felt tears threaten. She wanted to believe him, wanted to think love could bridge the impossible gap between them. But fairy tales didn't come true for women like her. I'm scared, Emma whispered. Of what? Of losing this. of losing you, of getting used to being happy and then having it ripped away. Dante pulled her close, his arms wrapped around her, strong, safe, everything she'd never had before. "I'm not going anywhere," he said. "I promise you that. You can't promise that. Life doesn't work that way. Then I'll make it work that way. I'll do whatever it takes to keep you, to protect what we have." Emma pressed her face against his chest. She breathed in his scent, felt his heartbeat steady under her cheek. She wanted to stay here forever, in this moment, safe in his arms. But moments never lasted. Emma knew that better than anyone. The call came 3 days later. Emma was at the diner. Lunch rush had just ended. She was wiping down tables when her phone rang. Mrs. Chen's number. Emma felt her stomach tighten. Something was wrong. "Hello? Emma." Mrs. Chen's voice was panicked. "Emma, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What happened? Where's Lily?" "Men came. They pushed past me. They took her. I tried to stop them, but..." Emma felt the world tilt. Her breath caught. Her hands started to shake. "What men? Where did they take her?" "I don't know. They wore masks. They had guns. One of them said, he said James sends his regards." James. Emma felt rage and terror flood through her in equal measure. He'd come back, despite Dante's warning, despite everything. He'd taken Lily. "Call the police," Emma said. Her voice was surprisingly steady. "Tell them everything." "I already did." "They're sending someone, but I have to go. I have to find her." Emma hung up. Her fingers shook as she dialed Dante's number. He answered on the first ring. "Emma?" "He took her. James took Lily." The words came out broken, desperate. "I don't know where. I don't know how to... I'm on my way. Don't move. Don't do anything. I'm coming. Dante, please, please find her." "I will. I promise you I will. Stay at the diner. I'll be there in 10 minutes. The call ended. Emma stood frozen. Customers stared at her. Rosie came out from the kitchen. Her face was concerned. "Emma, honey, what's wrong?" "Lily. Someone took Lily." Rosie's expression went hard. "Call that Moretti boy. He's coming." "Good. He'll find her. Men like him always do." Emma felt tears fall. She couldn't stop them, couldn't hold herself together anymore. Her daughter was gone, taken by a man who'd already proven he didn't care about anyone but himself. She felt fear unlike anything she'd ever known. Worse than poverty, worse than James's fists, worse than watching Lily struggle to breathe. This was primal terror, the kind that came from knowing your child was in danger and you couldn't protect them. Dante's car screeched to a stop outside. He burst through the door. His eyes found hers immediately. He crossed the diner in 3 strides, pulled her into his arms. "I've got you," Dante said. His voice was steady, controlled. "I've got you, and I'm going to get her back. He has her. James has my baby. I know, Marco's already tracking his location. We'll find him. What if we don't? What if he hurts her?" Dante pulled back. His hands framed her face. His eyes were hard, deadly. This was the man who'd destroyed families, who'd killed without hesitation, and Emma had never been more grateful for his violence. "He won't get the chance," Dante said. "I promise you that. Whatever it takes, whatever I have to do, I'm bringing Lily home." Emma nodded. She couldn't speak, could only cling to him and try not to shatter completely. Dante's phone rang. He answered without letting go of Emma. "Talk to me." Marco's voice came through the speaker. Tense. Urgent. "Found him. Warehouse in Brooklyn. Looks like he's got 4 guys with him, all armed." "How long to get there?" 20 minutes in traffic. Make it 10. Dante's jaw clenched. "And Marco? Bring everyone. Full team. I want overwhelming force. Boss, if we go in that hard, people will notice." "I don't care. They took a child. My child. Let people notice." Emma's breath caught. My child. He'd said it without thinking, without hesitation. Lily had become his in the weeks they'd been together. The realization made her chest ache. "I'm coming with you," Emma said. "No, it's too dangerous. She's my daughter. I'm coming." Dante looked at her. His expression was torn. Emma saw the war in his eyes. Protection versus understanding. Control versus respect. "You stay in the car," Dante finally said. "No matter what happens, no matter what you hear, you stay in the car until I say it's safe. Okay. I mean it, Emma. I can't focus on getting Lily out if I'm worried about you. I understand. I'll stay in the car." He kissed her, hard, desperate, like he was trying to memorize the taste of her. Then he pulled back and took her hand. "Let's go get our girl," Dante said. They ran for the car. Marco was already behind the wheel. 3 more vehicles fell in behind them, all black. all filled with men in dark suits, an army mobilizing for war. Emma sat in the back with Dante. His hand never left hers. She felt him vibrating with controlled fury, with the need for violence he was barely containing. "What if she's hurt?" Emma whispered. "Then James Crawford dies, slowly." "Dante, no, don't ask me to show mercy. Not for this. He crossed the only line that matters." Emma felt something cold settle in her chest. She should be horrified, should argue for restraint, should be the voice of reason and morality. But she wasn't. She wanted James dead, wanted him erased from existence, wanted Dante to do terrible things to him. The realization should have scared her. It didn't. The car raced through Brooklyn. Marco drove with precise aggression. They pulled up outside a derelict warehouse. Broken windows, graffiti-covered walls, the kind of place where bad things happened and no one noticed. "Stay here," Dante said. He kissed her forehead. "Lock the doors. Don't come out until I bring Lily to you. Be careful. Always." He smiled, cold and deadly. "This is what I'm good at." He climbed out. Marco and 8 other men formed up around him. They moved toward the warehouse with military precision, weapons drawn, professional, lethal. Emma watched them disappear inside. The silence stretched. Her breath came too fast. Her hands shook. She felt anxiety tighten around her throat. Gunshots rang out, sharp and loud even through the car's soundproofing. Emma felt her heart stop. More shots, shouting, the sounds of violence and chaos. She gripped the door handle. Every instinct screamed to run inside, to find Lily, to protect her daughter. But she'd promised Dante, promised to stay safe. The silence that followed was worse than the gunfire. Emma felt tears fall. She prayed, bargained with God, promised anything if Lily was okay. The warehouse door opened. Dante emerged. He carried Lily in his arms. Her daughter was crying but alive, moving, aware. Emma threw open the car door. She ran toward them. Her legs felt weak, her vision blurred with tears. "Lily!" Emma's voice broke on her daughter's name. Dante set Lily down. The little girl ran to her mother. Emma caught her, sank to her knees, held her daughter tight enough to hurt. "Mama," Lily sobbed. "Mama, I was so scared." "I know, baby, I know. But you're safe now. You're safe." Emma looked up at Dante. Blood spattered his shirt. His knuckles were split. But his eyes were gentle as he watched them. Protective, loving. "Is she hurt?" Emma asked. "Bruises. Nothing serious. The doctor will check her, but she's okay." Dante crouched beside them. His hand touched Lily's hair. "You were very brave." "The bad man said you wouldn't come," Lily whispered. "I'll always come for you, both of you, always." Lily reached for him. Dante pulled her into his arms. Emma watched her daughter cling to him, watched Dante's eyes close as he held her tight. This man had become their protector, their family, their home. "James?" Emma asked quietly. "Alive, barely. Police have him now, along with enough evidence to put him away for 20 years. Dante's voice was hard. "He'll never touch you again." Emma felt relief wash through her. It was over, really over. James was gone. Lily was safe. They could finally breathe. Marco appeared. "Boss, we need to move. Police are en route." Dante nodded. He stood with Lily still in his arms. They drove back to the estate in silence. Lily fell asleep against Dante's chest. Emma held her daughter's hand. Dante's free arm was around her shoulders. They formed a unit, a family, something Emma had never thought she'd have. At the estate, a doctor waited. He examined Lily thoroughly. Bruises on her wrists from restraints. Shock, but no lasting trauma. She'd be okay. Kids were resilient. Emma put Lily to bed, sang her favorite songs, promised her everything would be all right. Lily believed her. That trust was both beautiful and terrifying. When Lily finally slept, Emma walked back to the main house. Dante stood in his office. He'd changed clothes. The blood was gone, but the violence still clung to him. She saw it in his eyes, in the tension of his shoulders. "Thank you," Emma said from the doorway. Dante turned. His expression was carefully blank. "Don't thank me. This was my fault. If I'd handled Crawford properly the first time—" "Stop. This wasn't your fault. James made his choices. Choices that put Lily in danger. And you got her back. You saved her." Emma crossed the room. She took his face in her hands, made him look at her. "You saved us both. Again." Dante's breath caught. His hands covered hers. "I was terrified. When Marco said they had her, I felt like I was losing Sophia all over again, like history was repeating and I couldn't stop it. But you did stop it. You got there in time. This time. What about next time? There won't be a next time. James is gone. We're safe. For now, but my life is always going to attract danger. Being with me puts you at risk. Emma felt fear spike. Are you saying you want us to leave? No. God, no. Dante pulled her close, his arms wrapped around her, tight, desperate. I'm saying I want you to stay, forever. But only if you can accept what comes with that. The danger, the violence, the reality of who I am. Emma pulled back enough to meet his eyes. She saw fear there, vulnerability. He was waiting for her to reject him, to choose safety over love. I accept it, Emma said. All of it. The danger, the violence. You. Her voice softened. I love you, Dante. I'm in love with you. And I'm choosing you. Choosing this. Choosing us. Something shifted in his expression. Relief. Joy. Love so intense, it took her breath away. You're sure? Dante asked. His voice was rough. Once you say yes, I'm never letting you go. I'm sure we're staying, me and Lily, if you'll have us. If I'll... He laughed. It sounded shocked, delighted. Emma, I've been yours since you fell asleep on my shoulder. I just didn't know it yet. He kissed her. Deep, thorough. A kiss that promised forever. Emma kissed him back with everything she had. All her fear and hope and love poured into this moment. When they broke apart, both were breathing hard. Dante pressed his forehead against hers. His hands trembled slightly against her back. Marry me, Dante said. Not now. Not until you're ready. But someday. Marry me and let me spend the rest of my life keeping you safe, making you happy, loving you. Emma felt tears fall. Happy tears this time. Yes, yes, yes. Someday. When we're ready. I'll marry you. Dante kissed her again. Softer this time. Reverent. Then he pulled back and smiled. A real smile. Full of joy she'd never seen before. I never thought I'd get another chance, he said quietly. Another family, another reason to wake up happy. You have it now. We're your family, me and Lily, for as long as you want us. Forever then. I want you forever. Emma laughed through her tears. Forever sounds perfect. They stood there, holding each other. Two broken people who'd somehow become whole together. Outside, dawn was breaking. Inside, something new was beginning. A family, a future. A love neither had expected, but both desperately needed. Emma looked at Dante. He looked back with eyes full of promise, of commitment, of love so deep it made her breath catch. Take me to bed, Emma whispered. Dante's eyes darkened. Emma, I want you, all of you, tonight, please. He studied her face, looking for certainty, for consent. Emma gave it with her gaze, with her touch, with the way she pulled him toward the stairs. Dante followed, his hand tight around hers. They climbed to his room. He closed the door behind them, locked it, then turned to face her. Are you sure? Dante asked. We can wait. I don't want to rush. I'm sure. I've never been more sure of anything. He crossed to her, slow, careful. His hands cupped her face. He kissed her with infinite gentleness. Then his hands moved to her sweater, pulled it up. She raised her arms, let him undress her, trusted him completely. They made love slowly, carefully. With reverence and need and overwhelming emotion, Dante touched her with worship in his hands. Emma gave herself completely. No walls, no fear, just trust and love and coming home. Afterward they lay tangled together, Emma's head on his chest, his arms around her, both breathing hard, both transformed. I love you, Dante said into the darkness. I love you too. The silence stretched, comfortable, perfect. Emma felt sleep pulling at her. She fought it for a moment, wanting to savor this. Remember it. Hold on to it forever. Sleep, Dante whispered. I've got you. I'll always have you. Emma let herself drift, safe in his arms, in his love, in the promise of tomorrow and all the tomorrows after. For the first time in years, she wasn't afraid of the future. She was excited for it, ready for it. Whatever came next, they'd face it together. A family, a real family, finally. 6 months later, Emma woke to sunlight streaming through expensive curtains. She stretched. Her body ached pleasantly. Dante's side of the bed was empty but still warm. She'd moved into the main house 3 months ago, into Dante's room, into his life completely. The guest house now served as Marco's occasional crash space. The transition had been seamless, natural, right. Emma pulled on a robe and padded downstairs. She found Dante in the kitchen. He wore jeans and a t-shirt, casual clothes he only wore at home. He stood at the stove making pancakes. Lily sat at the counter. She wore her school uniform. Her color was perfect now, her breathing clear. She chatted about her upcoming science fair project. Dante listened with complete attention. Emma felt her chest tighten with love. This was her family, her home, her life. "Morning," Emma said. Dante looked up, his face transformed with his smile. "Morning, beautiful." "Mama!" Lily bounced on her stool. "Dante's making heart-shaped pancakes." "I see that. Very fancy. Only the best for my girls." Dante flipped a pancake expertly. He'd gotten good at domestic tasks, found peace in the routine of family life. Emma poured coffee, settled beside Lily. She felt contentment settle over her, deep and warm and permanent. Her phone buzzed. A text from Rosie. "Miss you at the diner, but happy you're living your fairy tale. Come visit sometime." Emma smiled. She'd quit the diner 4 months ago, taken the household management job Dante had offered. The work was easier, the pay better. But more than that, it let her be present. For Lily, for Dante, for the life they were building. "What are you smiling about?" Dante asked. "Rosie. She called this a fairy tale." "Is it? A fairy tale?" Emma looked at him, at Lily, at the kitchen that smelled like pancakes and coffee and home. "Yes, I think it is." Dante set a plate in front of her. 3 perfect heart-shaped pancakes. Then he leaned down and kissed her temple. "Good. You deserve a fairy tale ending. We all do." The doorbell rang. Marco's voice called from the foyer. "Boss, got those contracts you wanted?" "Office," Dante called back. He looked at Emma apologetically. "Work. I'll be fast. Take your time. We'll be here." He kissed her properly this time, deep enough to make Lily giggle and cover her eyes. Then he disappeared toward his office. Emma helped Lily with her breakfast. They talked about school and friends, and the new kitten Emma had promised to consider. Normal things, beautiful things. The kind of moments Emma had dreamed about but never thought she'd have. "Mama?" Lily asked. Her voice was tentative. "Can I ask you something?" "Of course, baby. Is Dante going to be my daddy?" Emma felt her throat tighten. "Would you like him to be?" "Yes, he's nice to us. He makes you smile, and he taught me to play chess." "Those are good reasons." Emma smoothed Lily's hair. "We're working on that. Dante wants to adopt you, legally, make you his daughter for real." Lily's face lit up. "Really?" "Really. But it takes time, paperwork and lawyers and things. It'll happen though, I promise." "I love him, Mama." "I know. He loves you too. And you love him. So much." Lily grinned. Then she went back to her pancakes. Simple as that. Children had a gift for acceptance, for seeing love and trusting it completely. Emma wished she could be that simple, but she was learning to trust, to believe in permanence, to let herself be happy without waiting for disaster. Dante returned 20 minutes later. He swept Lily up and spun her around. She shrieked with laughter. He set her down and checked his watch. "School time," Dante said. "Car's ready. Can Marco drive me? I want to tell him about my science project." "Sure thing. Go grab your backpack." Lily ran off. Dante pulled Emma into his arms. She fit against him perfectly. Always had. Always would. "I have something for you," Dante said. "Oh? What's the occasion?" "No occasion. Just this." He pulled a small box from his pocket. Velvet. Obviously expensive. Emma's breath caught. "Dante, open it." She did. Inside was a ring. Simple. Beautiful. A single diamond on a platinum band. Emma felt tears burn. "I know I proposed 6 months ago," Dante said. His voice was soft, nervous, but I wanted to do it properly this time, with a ring, with plans, with everything. He took the ring from the box. "Emma Torres, you saved my life when I didn't know it needed saving. You gave me a reason to be better, to hope, to love again. Will you marry me? Really marry me? Set a date and plan a wedding and let me make you mine forever?" Emma felt tears fall, happy tears, overwhelming tears. She looked at this man who'd given her everything. Safety, love, a home, a future. "Yes," Emma said. "Yes, I'll marry you. Tomorrow or next year, whenever, however. Just yes." Dante slid the ring onto her finger. Perfect fit. Then he kissed her, long and deep and full of promise. When they broke apart, both were grinning stupidly. "I was thinking June," Dante said. "Small ceremony, just family, then a honeymoon wherever you want." "June sounds perfect." "You're perfect," Emma laughed. "I'm really not. You are to me." He pulled her close. "You and Lily, my family, my everything." Lily came running back. She saw Emma's hand, saw the ring, Her eyes went huge. "You're getting married," Lily shouted. "We are," Emma confirmed. "Can I be in the wedding?" "You'll be the flower girl," Dante said. He crouched down to her level. "What do you think about that?" "I think yes." Lily threw her arms around his neck. "I think yes to everything." Dante held her tight. His eyes met Emma's over their daughter's head. Their daughter. Already she was theirs. The adoption papers would make it official, but love had already done the real work. Marco appeared in the doorway. "Lily, school. Let's go." Lily kissed both her parents and ran for the door. The house fell quiet. Emma looked at her ring, at Dante, at the life spread before them. "Happy?" Dante asked. "So happy I'm scared it's not real." "It's real. I promise you that." He kissed her softly. "This is our life now, our family, our forever." Emma believed him, finally, completely. She'd fallen asleep on a stranger's shoulder 6 months ago, woken up to find she'd fallen into a fairy tale, not the kind with princes and castles, the real kind, with danger and hard choices and love that conquered both. "I love you," Emma said. "I love you more," Dante replied. They stood in the kitchen, sunlight streaming through windows, coffee cooling on the counter, wedding plans waiting to be made, a whole life stretching ahead. Emma had spent years just surviving, fighting, protecting, afraid of hoping for more. Now she had more than she'd dreamed possible. A man who loved her fiercely, a daughter who was thriving, a home that was truly theirs. She looked at Dante. He looked back. They didn't need words, just this moment, this certainty, this love. Emma smiled. Dante smiled back. Outside, birds sang. Inside, their family was complete. And for the first time in her life, Emma Torres wasn't afraid of tomorrow. She was excited for it. They were finally, truly, completely home. The end.